His name is Cyrus, and he is a scholar. This is Atlasdam, nestled in the fertile plains of the Flatlands. It is home to the Royal Academy, where many a scholar studies night and day, to bring the light of knowledge to the royal family and to all of the realm. He passes his days in the halls of the great library, devouring tomes to his heart's content. It is in this library where he learns of a grievous theft. Certain that one of his fellow scholars are the culprit, Cyrus sets out alone to confront that man in his shadowy subterranean study. He will need wise allies on the path that he has chosen.
And so it was that Atlasdam was founded some 2 centuries ago. Indeed, our fair city-state is among the longest standing on the continent of Austera. But there was another city-state with a history as long and proud as our own that came to a tragic ruin only 8 short years ago. Now, who can tell me its name? How about you, Therese?
I think it was...
Now, no need to get all flustered. There's no shame in not knowing an answer, so long as you have a desire to learn. The answer is in your textbook. Go on now, look it up.
Yes, Professor. Let's see. I believe it was Hornburg.
That is correct. Hornburg was ruled over by a royal family, said to be descended from priests of an ancient and long-forgotten religion. On the other hand, our fair Atlasdam was founded by one of the original clans that inhabited the Flatlands. Who can tell me how many clans lived in the Flatlands at the time? Your Highness?
The histories have it that 8 clans did live in the Flatlands in those days.
Correct you are, Your Highness. It was a time of great strife here in the Flatlands, as the 8 clans waged a long and bitter war. Change would come when the armies of Grandport invaded these lands some 2 centuries ago. At the time, the rulers of Grandport sought to exert their influence over territories inland. Ironically, this compelled the warring tribes to put aside their differences and unite against their common foe. Oh, but look at the time. We'll pick up where we left off next time. Don't forget to read chapters 3 and 4 before our next lecture. And be prepared to answer questions on any of the material within.
Yes, Professor.
Thank you for another most stimulating lecture, Professor Albright.
Hello?
Ah, Professor Albright. Mercedes from the Royal Library came by with a message for you. Seems today is your lucky day. You've been granted permission to enter the special archives.
Splendid!
Finally, I can begin my research. The library is just outside the palace. I'd best make haste. Oh, Cyrus, You're the only character of the extended demo I actually decided to play, as I wanted to keep the game pretty much unspoiled for myself.
Professor Albright.
Your Highness.
What can I do for you, Your Highness?
The truth of the
If you can
matter is-
spare the time, I had a question about something we learned today.
But of course.
Your Highness, it would be my pleasure to answer anything. After all, my role as your tutor is as important to me as any of my research. Unfortunately, I cannot spare much time. Is the question a quick one?
Indeed.
I was just wondering about the ancient religion of Hornburg. Pray tell, what did they worship?
Very astute of you.
Your Highness. However, I fear that nearly all texts detailing the nature of their religion were burned and lost when Hornburg fell. I see. A shame that.
The truth.
I do, however, have a theory of my own. I believe the royal family of Hornburg were guardians of an ancient power. Mind you, this is not idle speculation. My theory is based on the fact that Let's continue the discussion another time. My apologies for keeping you, Professor.
With pleasure.
No need for apologies, and it would be my pleasure, Your Highness. That such questions occur to you is a sign of a sharp and curious mind.
Why, thank you.
Your lectures on history of the realm are most fascinating to me. For if I do not learn of our past, how can I hope to lead my people to a bright future?
Indeed.
A most admirable philosophy, Your Highness. The people of this land are truly fortunate to be led by one of such wisdom and kindness, as I am truly fortunate to have the opportunity to serve in some small way. You are far too kind, Professor Albright. I am proud to be your student.
Ah,
Oh dear, I'm running late.
good day.
Pray do not forget your assignment, Your Highness.
Farewell.
Ah, Therese. Yes? Do you have a question for me?
No.
I mean, no. Good day, Professor. Oh, Cyrus, you are so oblivious, and you know what? I can appreciate that quality about you. However, we're not done in the castle, because there are things in here I want, and I will get them. All of them. Every single one of them. Ooh, a thunderstone. You gotta go. We're gonna go this way. Ah, 3 items. Jesus. Yes. Yes. Aha. Nice. So, I haven't talked about this much because up until now it hasn't been relevant. But, from this point onward, my Octopath Traveler playthrough will be split into 2 teams. Yes, you heard me, 2 teams. Team A will be the team that you will see formed here today, of Hanit, Therian, Alphen, and Cyrus. Team 2 will be of the other 4 characters. So whenever I'm playing a story, and one of those stories, or one of those characters, the team will already be decided. This will allow me some freedom to create team comps the way I see fit. I just think it'd be more interesting that way instead of having to remember specifically to mess with teams or to switch people out. If I already have team comps decided on the outset, well, it takes away a lot of that extra effort. What do you have to say? Nothing? Okay. Russell just ain't cut out for that sort of work. Whatever was he? Move along now.
It's me, Cyrus.
Good day, Mercedes. Cyrus Albright here to browse the special archives. Oh, Professor Albright, you're looking quite eager today. When I heard that an original copy of the Church of the Flame, a complete history, had been donated to our archives, I simply had to be the first to see it.
I see.
You're more on top of our collection than I am. Just sign here.
With pleasure.
Is something amiss?
Actually,
For someone known as the most brilliant mind in the Royal Academy, when you talk about books, you're as giddy as a schoolboy. When you put it that way, yes. Much as a child is fascinated by a new toy, I am titillated by the prospect of acquiring new knowledge.
I see.
Right. The expression on your face says it all. Anyway, everything seems to be in order. Enjoy your quest for knowledge, Professor.
Many thanks.
My dear, I most certainly will. How odd. The tome is nowhere to be found. Did someone return it to the wrong shelf? Not here either.
An interesting dilemma.
These archives are strictly guarded and curated. Wherever could it have gone?
Professor Albright.
The headmaster would see you at once. Of all the times to... Oh well, might I ask you of a favor? What might that be?
The truth is...
The tome I mentioned before seems to have gone missing. Could you locate it for me?
I see.
Missing? Huh. I'll begin looking at once.
Many thanks. Cyrus Albright, by your request, sir.
Do enter. My apologies for summoning you on such short notice.
How might I be of assistance, Headmaster?
That treatise on arcane studies you published. What in the gods' names were you thinking?
Sir? I do believe I made my hypothesis perfectly clear.
I'm not talking about your hypothesis. You went out of your way to cite one of the texts in our special archives. The knowledge housed in those tomes is the Royal Academy's greatest treasure. It is not to be divulged to the public at your whim. Laying it bare in one of your silly papers is out of the question.
I am fully aware of the value of those tomes, Headmaster. It is for that very reason I would share the knowledge with my peers.
You are to share nothing. That wisdom is for the Academy and the Academy alone.
But that goes against everything.
Enough, Cyrus!
Even my best argument is sure to fall on deaf ears. The Headmaster sees knowledge as a medal or precious stone, something to be appreciated by its rightful owner alone. Knowledge is power, and power is to be hoarded. An unfortunate attitude, indeed. My sincere apologies, Headmaster. It won't happen again. Is there anything else you need of me?
That is all. You may go. Wait, there was one last thing.
Sir?
I heard the special archives will be closing early today. If you have research to do there, I would do so quickly.
Good gods. It's as if he enjoys watching me suffer. Thank you for your concern, Headmaster. In that case, I'll be on my way.
Enter.
Excuse me.
What's the matter?
Yes? What is it, Cyrus? It's about Professor Albright, sir. Well, this got uncomfortable. Knowledge is something to be hoarded. How dare he? Well, still got time to research, though. I mean, the book is missing, but, I mean, hey, you gotta do what you can do, right?
Can I help you?
A moment of your time.
Did you have any luck finding the tome?
My apologies.
I'm afraid not.
Say it is not
Well,
so.
this is most unfortunate. One might conclude they had been stolen.
Actually,
Professor, taking books from these archives is strictly forbidden. And as you know, the keys to the vault are entrusted only to a select few. Quite honestly, it would be easier to steal the crown off the king's head.
Aho!
An impregnable vault. A disappearing tome. It would seem we have quite a mystery on our hands. And the mysteries of the world are meant to be solved. Or so the scholar in me says. Would you not agree? If it had been stolen, I would say it's a job for the city guard. But I can see you won't let it go until you've cracked the case, as it were.
Indeed!
You could say that. Indeed, a habit I just can't seem to break. Once a puzzle is placed before me, I simply cannot rest until it's worked out a solution.
I see.
Well, far be it from me to stand in your way. It must be tough being a genius.
Leave it to me.
I'll deny it not. It's like, I'll not deny it. Worry not. The tome will be back on the shelf before you can bat an eyelash.
Take care.
Right. Thanks. Best of luck on your search.
Time to do some research.
And the game is afoot. Oh, I love this guy so much. If there was ever for me to have a Sherlock character in an RPG, he would basically be the closest I'll ever get. I suppose I should inquire with Mercedes as to where the keys to the library are stored. The guard at the front door would know who's been frequenting the library lately, as might a few of my scholars. Then mayhap I should pay the headmaster a visit as well. Let's see now. Of course I've got a key to the archives, and no, I wasn't sleeping. I was resting my eyes, is all. But even if I was sleeping, what would it matter? What kind of fool would bother stealing a worthless tome anyways? Most intriguing. Well, he's not very useful if he doesn't understand the value of books. How about you there? Let's see now. The key to the archives? Oh, I haven't got that, but I'm not surprised someone stole a tome, considering what they're worth. I've gambling debts myself, so I understand the temptation. Let's see. Only Headmaster, Vaughn, and the guard station outside should have a key to the library archives. So that really only leaves us with what? The king? And provided that the king doesn't know, that might be the best solution that we have at the moment. Although I'm not exactly keen on going to talk to him after the smackdown he laid on me earlier. Christ almighty, man. There's nothing worse than getting chewed out by your superiors. And what makes it worse for this man is that he got chewed out over something, like, really dumb. Like, there was no good reason to chew this man out. He didn't deserve it. Like, at all. There was no discernible good reason. I was under the impression the place I was looking for was here. I might have been wrong, though. Okay. I was wrong. I was grossly wrong. It's not over there. Let's see here. Scrutinize. Let's see now. You know full well I have a key to the special archives, and that I would never be so foolish as to let it fall into the wrong hands. In any event, I have no reason to peruse those tomes in quite some time.
Splendid.
That should be all the information I need to solve the case. Who possesses the keys? Well, obviously, it would be the headmaster and the guard.
But of course.
There are only 2 keys to the archive, one belonging to the headmaster and one to the guardsman. It was most likely the guards, as he was probably asleep. The headmaster's key is safely locked away in his office. Furthermore, he hasn't visited the archives today. On the other hand, the guard has been acting suspiciously as of late, even sleeping while on active duty.
Oh,
It would be all too easy of a task to lift the key off his person. So, it is possible that the guard is our man.
no.
No, he would have no motive. The culprit must be someone who understands the true value of the tome. Which is to say, one of my colleagues. And most likely, one who has accrued a frightful gambling debt.
Which means...
Put it all together, and our villain is...
Yes. Shall we begin?
Word has it he's been doing his research underground these days.
Now then.
I think it's time I did some field work of my own. And so I've taken upon myself to investigate this suspicious scholar. Interested in coming along, are you? It seems you have quite the curious streak yourself. But of course, mysteries exist only to be solved. After all, it is of utmost importance to remember that. But there I go again. Don't let me talk your ear off. But I will be glad for your help. Let's get right to business then. No doubt we'll find Russell in his laboratory down below. Well, kids, we have now added Cyrus to our party. But before we do anything else, we're going to learn some skills, because I have a lot of points to spend. First up will be Hanit, as she has well over 500 JP. And I'm thinking... Leg hold trap. And because of that, she's learned a brand new support skill. Therian is not quite there yet. Alphen is already there. So we're gonna learn... Amputation. Unleash an axe strike on a single foe. Alright. Obviously he would have none. So let's go to equipped support skills. Increases the equipping character's critical rate by 50. Jesus. And if I recall... what was it? Inspiration. With each successful standard attack, gain SP equal to 1% of the damage you deal. Nice! Alright. We are beefed up and good to go. Anyways, guys, next time on Octopath Traveler, we will have collected 1/2 of the characters of this beautiful game. Jesus. Anyways, guys, stay tuned, and I will see you all next time.